Alright, you bastards, this is Some-Belgian-prepper, and today I want to talk about the importance of intuition, especially in survival situations and perhaps everyday scenarios. But before we do that, if you're interested in detective stories, there will be a link to my survival courses in Belgium and also to my book called Bloody Crosses. It's a detective stories, it's in Dutch, so if you're interested in both, take a look at it. Alright, intuition. Intuition is something that not many people really think about, and I think that's actually the point. But if you look more deeper into it, you can sense that that it's a very important aspect of survival, and it can be trained. For example, what is intuition actually? Well, there are so many takes on what intuition is. Some are scientific, other are philosophical, but from my point of view, it is the perception of truth, facts, and visible things that you can sense without thinking, without going over it mentally. It's something that you directly feel. So it's like a fast perception of observable clues, patterns by sense and by memory. So in short, actually, intuition is like a muscle memory of seeing experience, part of your memories, and pattern recognition. So, um, the thing is, by this is intuition, you're not always right. And it is because nobody can have full intuition in every environment. You are it is actually more a product of the environment that you have been training for or the environment where you have been living. So, for example, I've been I live more on the countryside, so I can feel if there is something off around here, and I can directly try to react to it in the most proper way possible to avoid danger, nuisance, whatsoever. But if I'm going to a busy place like a big city or some social event with a lot of people, certain courtesies, etiquette, or what's there to be expect, because I do not interact a lot in those kind of environments, my intuition in there is often off. For a stupid example, a few days I've been to a restaurant, a little bit more fancy restaurant, with friends, and yeah, I've felt out of the boat. Uh, how to say this? Because I'm not familiar with the etiquette, how to handle properly in a more manner way with staff and kind of people. It's not that I treat them bad, but the things that were expected is something that I was not familiar with. So I would look more like a redneck, hillbilly jock or something compared to my friends in that scenario. So in that way, intuition is often learned or by where you've been living. So um, the next thing I want to say is what can you do with this intuition in the survival scenarios? Well, the first of all is the most important, in my opinion, is trusting people. We all have we all have that feeling if we meet certain persons that we can know there's something off about this person. I don't fully trust them because perhaps there are some visible clues they show you that you recognized in the past by people who done something to you or who tried to hustle you, or how do you say this, hustle you or something, or did something bad to you, and that is a pattern recognition that you see in this person that you don't trust them for. It can be body language, can be something that they wear, because if, for example, if somebody wears a leather jacket, you can associate them with biker gangs, for example. So it's not always that, but there are certain clues. For example, it's not only you would be stupid if you think leather jacket, biker. But if you see a few tattoos, a certain appearance, certain leather jacket, or some clues that they ride a motorcycle. For example, you can smell the motor oil. Those are small things that can make that deduction better in a way. Another thing is skills like in tools, materials. We live in a society where you're highly specialized usually. So if you're an accountant, you have a good intuition in how to handle bookkeeping. If you're a mechanic, you have a good understanding and intuition about what could be wrong with this machine, car, apparatus, that you directly know that is wrong with it. I can hear the fine grinding of the gears that is a little bit off. I can hear it to the sound of the motor. I can see that there is a little bit of damage over there, but that you know where it can lead to into a bigger part of the machine. So those are small intuitions that, by experience, you can look at it and know what's wrong with it and try to make the situation better. Shooting, for example, we all seen these persons who can shoot a can thrown into the air with a revolver, or snipers and hunters who can shoot their target even while they are on the move with all the environments, because they have always been training in how to handle their firearm, how to maintain it, how to shoot it in by taking into account the wind, moist, distance, size of the target, all those kind of things, because they've been training with it and have been familiar with it, so that it's almost like a muscle memory and knowledge. Handling of animals, especially if you're a hunter, you want to know where will the animals be, how will they react, are they dangerous, are they going to attack you, or is it a bluff attack by a bear, for example. If you've been into these things a lot, you can recognize and have a good intuition on what to do next. And because you have this intuition, um, but because you have this intuition, you can often take a good stand reaction towards this situation. Because, for example, if you are in if as a person gets stressed, they react usually in three ways: fight, flight, or freeze reaction. But those are instant reactions that you do without knowing. But if you have good intuition, your body will know how to react because it recognizes the danger beforehand, and because its intuition takes a better decision than when you're not trained. For example, if you meet a boar in the woods, you will know when to run, when to fight back, or when to freeze and stand still. So a person who has never encountered a boar before, they will not know what to do, and they will do something stupid like running away, being that they will chase them, or fight back while they were not even aggressive, or freeze while you are while they are getting curious because perhaps they have never seen people before. Those are all things that play in account. And of course, other things can be handy with intuition, like sensing dangers from overflowing rivers. If you know how rivers work, you will know I will not camp here because I can see some spots where that show that water can go high up here by in the environment. Ambushes by if you've been into military situations or as a police officer kind of training, and all of other situations. And all, of course, that is actually a big part of being a leader, in my opinion. Having a good sense of intuition, because the leader need to be experienced to lead the group and take the right decisions. So that's why I would say, if you have a group, somebody has to make a decision, and it cannot be by only by seniority, by being having a certain job, because yeah, like I said, certain jobs are they are proficient in, but in others they are not. So people that don't have a good intuition should not really be always be put into leadership unless they have been proven to. I would say, um, children are very bad with intuition. We all see the decisions those little bastards can make because they don't have much experience. Children are, in my opinion, in the phase of discovering the world, discovering how everything works, and that's why you cannot trust them with certain decisions or how to react properly. So yeah, that's first of all. This might sound a little bit controversial, but in my opinion, women, and I don't say all women, but most women, I would say, don't have a good intuition. They have a good intuition in certain ways because women are very good into emotional thinking. So in social situations, they can have a better feeling, intuition about how to perhaps handle certain situations. Uh, but for survival, you need more logical thinking, and that's something that a lot of women are lacking a little bit because they are more profound into emotional intuition. So those are things that, depending on the situation, can be handy or be a little bit determined, especially in survival situations where hard decisions need to be made that can lead to painful or less painful outcomes, but they need to be made. You cannot please everyone. Another thing is impulsive people, and especially teens, I would say. So if you have a person who is very impulsive, we all know those people. These are often people who are more prone to addiction or more prone to doing some stupid things. We all know these people that say, I have yet another speeding ticket, and it could be like the 20th they got this year, but that's because they don't have a good intuition on their environment, their patterns, so they are not paying attention, for example. And especially teens, I would say. Teens are in their development, especially with their own emotions, and they have it very difficulty to have a good intuition upon things because they are being more into the social and emotional because there's a stage where you are trying to learn to work with other people and becoming an adult. But yeah, I would say I would never trust a teenager into a position that needs to be taken with hard decisions, and also because they usually are starting to get to learn to take responsibility and to get experience, but they are not fully yet there. So yeah, a few examples perhaps of intuition uh, that I've been noticing is when I'm driving to my work, there are certain ways that I can go. There is a little bit of a longer way, but usually I can spot from very far when by how the traffic is moving that I know, oh, there is something wrong over there. Oh, I've been noticing more cars that work on the roads lately, so that could be an indication. These roads are a little bit longer, so most people with a GPS take that road, so I will take the other road, so there's less traffic. All those small things are just in one snap going through my head, and I can usually take a right decision to go to my work without getting any traffic jams that I'm at my work on time. And this is just a very stupid example that I just made, but uh, it is an example of intuition for everyday situations. So yeah, I hope this video has made you think a little bit. If you have any other ideas of things that I need to know about intuition or some experience that you got with this, please let me know in the comments. Always eager to learn. Like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And see you in the next video. Cheers.